Sagittarius, welcome to your June 2018 general tarot reading. I am Leonie Nicole Black. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for spending some time with me. Okay, so a couple of notices before we do your reading. If you would like a personal one-on-one reading with me, remember this is general. So if you want to get into the specifics of your situation, you can do that at nicoleblack.com/services, link in description box. I do video call readings for those in the UK and around the world, and I do in-person sessions for those based in London. Okay, thank you so much for your likes, your shares, your subscribes. I really appreciate it, and especially the comments. I read them all. Please do follow me on Instagram as Leonie Nicole Black. Okay, that's it. Reading. Whew. Sagittarius. You're the last reading I'm doing. You're the last of the 12 signs that I'm recording for, and you are making me work for it. I think when I pulled your cards, there's something similar is going on that happened with Scorpio. When I did Scorpio's reading, I had to pull clarifiers on like every card because there was just something I needed to grasp. But then their reading came through very powerfully. But I feel like there's a similar energy here, and I ended up having to pull quite a few clarifiers for you as well because I was looking at your cards. I was like, I see the message, but I don't understand it. I see what's happening, but I don't get the why. And obviously, you know what's happening. You come here to understand the why so that you can transform what's happening in yourself. Okay, so how are you showing up in June? Temperance card to begin with in reverse. Internally, you're really thinking about balancing things out, trying to strike a balance in your life. And the two cards that came up underneath that were the King of Pentacles in reverse and the Page of Wands in reverse. What does that mean? Well, with the King of Pentacles and the Page of Wands in reverse, what it's saying is that you're trying to balance out your current commitments, responsibilities, what you're doing now, what you're invested in now, what you're committed to now, what you've initiated already, what you care about here, now, in the present, versus the ways that you want to expand, create, grow, do more in other spaces, take your message out into the world, follow your passions and your intentions to do other things. That's what you're balancing out, you know, and I didn't see that as too concerning. I was like, okay, you know, you're trying to figure out how much do I give to what's here and how much do I give to what's next, you know, and that's fine. But when I pulled the context cards for this, you got three major arcana. So three significant kind of thematic energies happening in your life right at the moment. Three really, it's like an emphasize. It's a more dense message that comes out. And you had two reversals, the Death card in reverse, and you had the Judgment card in reverse, and then you had the Ace of Cups here, and then you had, I'll show it to you, the Tower. And I was like, Death, Judgment, Tower, and you've got the Ace of Cups in the middle there, and I was like, something's off in you, really, in your environment. Something's not right. And you know, with the Death card and the Judgment card in reverse, what it's saying to me is that something's happening in your life that you don't understand, you're not privy to it. Either you just have no concept that it's going on, or you know it's happening and you don't understand it. It's going over your head. You're not matching the energy of it. Ace of Cups is not an appropriate energy for the Death card, the Judgment card, and the Tower. I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, don't you see the chaos going on around you? I really feel like some of you are involved with a Scorpio, and because the Death card's here as well. If you're not involved specifically with a Scorpio, then it's, remember, this could be a Scorpio moon, a Scorpio sun, or a Scorpio rising. But if it's not a Scorpio, it's definitely someone who is deep in their shadow at the moment. Either they're someone that is like living in their vices, so living in their smaller self, no shade Scorpio, but living in their smaller self, living in their fears, over drinking too much, smoking too much, eating too much, even exercising too much. Let's go to the other spectrum of things, like anything in excess, anything addictive. Like, you're dealing with, I think this is in a relationship dynamic. It could be work, it could be career, but you're dealing in your environment, you're dealing with people who are showing up with that Scorpio element when Scorpio is not in its power, when Scorpio is out of sync with self. when I was pulling clarifiers, you had so many cards about your happiness coming up as well. And that's what I think is happening with you, Sagittarius. Something's deceiving you. It's a very strange energy. Something is like pulling the wool over your eyes. And I think it's your desire to be happy. You want to just be happy. And there's a lot going on around you that has nothing to do with your happiness, that is not supporting your happiness, that is obstructive to your happiness. And it's like you're not engaging with it. So when I pull clarifiers on the Death card, literally, the happiness card came up. 9 of Cups care. I didn't get to do my nails, don't watch that. And the interference card. Oh my gosh, like exactly what I just said. I didn't even understand that as I was articulating it until I just looked at the card. Jupiter in Gemini. We're in Gemini season as well. 8 of Swords. There's something going on in your life that is a spiritual obstruction to your happiness. Either people are around you who ultimately want to sabotage you, or there's something inside you that desires to sabotage yourself. And how you're doing that is by turning a blind eye. The Judgment card is here to indicate to you that you're at a very critical moment in your life. You're at like a turning point, a crossroads, a decision to be made. And in reverse, you don't even understand the significance of this moment. You've got Princess of Discs. This is an earth sign card. As a clarifier on that, indicating to me that there is something in which you are housing within yourself. It could be a dream, it could be an energy. Some of you might actually even be pregnant. There's something that's fertile inside you, Sagittarius, and you're at a critical moment. Wow, I don't typically read like this. This is really interesting the way this energy is coming through for me, but it almost feels there's an emergency to this reading, and it feels to me like you're at a critical moment where it's like either you can go full term with the thing you're trying to create, or you can lose this thing. It will be terminated, and you are literally walking down like la 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 la, looking at the birds, looking at the flowers, and you have no concept of the danger around you, because you're like Ace of Cups, in love with life, in love with your partner, in love, just being like, I just want this, I just want to, you know, there's people who are like, oh, positive vibes only. Do you know what I mean? I just want to focus on the good. I just want to be happy. I just want to deal with the lighter side of life. And Spirit's like, you don't see that you're fast approaching destruction, to be honest. No, not destruction of you, but destruction of life as you know it, and the way you've built yourself. I don't mean to frighten you, Sagittarius. There's no need to be fearful in this reading, but I have to give it to you as I see it. Now, I'm seeing a lot of love energy here. So if you're single, Sagittarius, I don't know what to say to you. I mean, it's not even if you're single or not. If you're single and you're talking to someone, if you're in a situationship, if there's someone's energy is still here, say you're single, but there's someone you're still thinking about, haven't moved on from. If you're untethered, unpartnered, and that has nothing to do with what's happening in your life, then I'm afraid this reading just isn't for you. And you know, I bless you, and I hope that you were able to connect with someone else this month that can help you. But I have to give the message I see, and it feels like it is related to the emotional connection and partnerships. Because I see on the Tower, I was like, what's happening with the Tower? Ace of Swords and 2 of Cups. Now, 2 of Cups is an energy of partnership. Intimate partnership, equal partnership, loving partnership, coming together with people. And there's something you're not seeing. Either you don't understand this about your partner, or you don't understand what you need in a partner, but you're engaged. Okay, so maybe you're putting your heart out there, putting yourself out there, but you have zero concept of who you are and what an equal partnership would be. You need some mental breakthroughs, and you need to do the breakthrough here, because if you don't, you're going to experience the breakthrough in your life, as in things will crumble, collapse, fall, upheaval, in order to force you to have new understanding. It will be the difference between looking at a weather report and seeing when it's going to rain and walking outside and getting wet. Spirit's like, I need you to look at the weather report of your life. I need you to read the signs about where you are, or you're just going to go out and get wet. Either way, the rain's coming. That's what I'm feeling for you. Some of you just have zero concept of what's happening in your relationships, I feel. You seem to just be going along the path, just like you seem to just be going with the flow of things, and you have no idea what your partner is doing or what and it doesn't have to even be that they're cheating on you or they're doing anything wrong, but you don't know what they're feeling internally. You're disconnected. You are with them and not with them. You're not connected to them emotionally. You don't understand what's happening with them spiritually. Like, so it's two messages. Some of you just don't understand yourselves. Others of you don't understand the partner. And so there's a really inappropriate, vulnerable use of love, of the love energy right now. The love energy, the Ace of Cups energy is vulnerable because you're not recognizing what's happening in your life. And it's interesting because, like, obviously I said your focus is this. Your focus is like what I'm currently working on and what I want to create. And you don't see that you're not in an environment for that. So your soul lessons this month. Nine of Swords. What I feel from this card is if you don't, hey, you're going to feel, basically. As in, this is stress. It's been coming up for quite a few signs today that I've done today. This is stress, this is anxiety, this is almost torment, this is torturing, this is rolling around, staying up at night, this is sorrow, this is a really difficult, stuck energy. And it's saying to you, you've already got the Eight of Swords interference, which I said was an energy that was an obstruction to your happiness. And it's saying if you don't see this thing, if you don't identify this thing, it will, the soul lesson for you will be for it to escalate into the nines, and you can feel the severity of that so that you learn to check these things before they happen. When I was, dealing with cycles of really severe depression in my life, one of the things I learned through therapy was to recognize my loop, recognize my cycle, recognize my pattern. What are the signs for me of when I'm descending and how can I intervene? One of the first cues, I'm a Virgo, so I'm fairly introverted, I like to have some time to myself to reflect and etc. But one of the first cues for me is extreme withdrawal. If I start feeling very withdrawn, don't want to see anyone, don't want to do anything, don't want to go anywhere, that is one of the red flags that I'm about to enter a depression. And it's like it's saying to you, it's going to take you this far down the road so that you can feel the extent of it, so that you can learn what does it look like when you're approaching this. You're literally learning, to read the weather of your life. You just can't see it right now. You have not cultivated those skills, Sagittarius. This is your other soul lesson, 10 of Cups in reverse. I want to put a clarifier on that. Why 10 of Cups, Spirit? Just a second, guys. Why 10 of Cups? 10 of Cups in reverse. There's definitely something you're creating. You can't be successful where you are, it feels like. Something's off. Something's out of balance. You got the three, so you got the Empress card here. It's a 3 card. It's a creative card. It's a card about fertility. I already talked about some of you literally being pregnant. Others of you are pregnant in a metaphorical sense, as in you're birthing something, creating something in your life. You have the 4 card here, which is a new beginning energy. And you've got the 6 of Discs success card. Now you also have the 6 of Wands success card in reverse as your next card. And these are clarifying the 10 of Cups. This may not even be a relationship. This could be relating to the soul group. So what I mean by that is finding your tribe, as people say. What I mean, you could be in job situations, you could be in friendship groups, in family situations, and in love relationships that aren't well suited, that aren't matching you very well. They are established though. 10 of Cups, they're well established. These aren't new relationships. Or if they are, they're very deeply bonded. But these are very well, to me, they seem like established partnerships that you've got. And they're not supporting the thing that you're wanting to grow and create. So that's something you're not in tune with your partner. And I also said that you're dealing with someone with Scorpio, unbalanced Scorpio energy. So someone who's really in their shadow. It could be someone who's very depressed, to be honest. That might be why that analogy came up for me. Someone who's really depressed, someone who's meandering through their personal darkness. And you are in your own world. That's what it is. You are in your own world, wanting to create. You're in your own path of success. Things are going well for you. And you're not recognizing that all is not well in the world. All is not well in the family. All is not well in your relationship. And because of that, whilst you are personally successful, the partnerships aren't. 6 of Wands in reverse. Soul lesson. What's the point of winning if it's only you? Do you know what I mean? If you can't share that win with others. When I pulled clarifiers, I'm actually only shuffling these cards for comfort. Let me put them down. When I pulled clarifiers on the 6 of Wands in reverse, you got the Princess of Wands and you've got the Adjustment card, Libra energy. What it's saying is that you need to balance some things out in your partnerships. Libra is the energy of partnership. You need to balance some things out. You need to wake up to what's happening with you, Sagittarius, and you need to balance it out. And how you balance it is by slaying your fears. I think the reason you're pretending that you don't know what's going on with your partner or you're not engaging with it, you know, this is what I'll say, Sagittarius. I think of all the signs, you know, people talk about how Aquarius is emotionally detached, but Aquarius is also humanitarian. So as detached as Aquarius is, they don't like irrational emotion, but I feel like from a objective standpoint, they can understand it. They can analyze it. They're all right with dealing with emotion from a distance. But you, Sagittarius, you don't like emotion too much. You're very frank. You're very practical, you're very cerebral, you make clear judgment. And this is a problem because I feel like what's happening in the situation is that you are fearful that you won't know how to deal with the death energy and the judgment energy and the tower energy and what's really going on in your partnerships. You have zero clue how to deal with someone as an unbalanced Scorpio when they're out of their power, when they're depressed, when they're living in their vices. Particularly if you're in relationships, particularly if you're pregnant, particularly if you've invested a lot with a person, you don't even know how to pull them out of their darkness. And so you fear seeing the situation as it is because you can see the flame, excuse my chipped nails, you can see the flame down here, the flame being of illumination. You are afraid to confront the condition of the relationship, but if you don't, you can't adjust it, you can't rebalance things. And whilst you will be personally successful, you have the makings for personal success. We see that here with the King of Pentacles in reverse. We see that here with the 6 of Discs success card. You can be personally successful, but not in the context of this partnership. So what's your advice then? Well, to confirm what I've been saying to you, you've got the Hangman card here. This is Pisces energy. This is about understanding the trap, the loop, the cycle, things that aren't working in your life. It's getting a clearer picture of what's happening there. And, you know, there's this is saying to you that there is something you've not understood. Therefore, the Hangman has to experience a sacrifice which requires him to put himself upside down to gain illumination. And you have not understood something, so you're going through or will be put through this June something quite difficult. You'll be forced to face your situation so you can find your way out. And your way out, you've got the Prudence card with the Queen of Discs. You've got a lot of earth sign energy showing up in your reading. First of all, you were King of Pentacles. Now I see Queen of Pentacles coming out. In terms of dealing with the lesson that you don't understand, this is your advice section and I ask Spirit for clarity. And the message is that you're not caring for things. 8, the Prudence card here is about understanding is like talking about the process of a flower, how it unfolds, but it's very fragile in that opening moment. And so you have to give, not, you don't need to overextend, but also not give it enough. So it's just saying to you, it's the balanced energy, but you're not cultivating or caring for what's in your life right now. Okay, so I really feel some of you have depressed partners. I really feel that that's part of what the key issue is here. And it's like you're allowing your partner to live in their depression and just, you know, leaving them to it and thinking they'll get through it and return to you when they're done. But that's actually quite, even though I know it doesn't seem that way to you, from a spiritual perspective, that's coming up, that is an expression of a lack of care. You need to care for this person. You need to see their vulnerability and their tenderness, and you need to figure out, I can't tell you what it is, not in a general anyway, in a personal like it, but in a general I can't tell you because there's so many different variations of situations and scenarios, but you need to find out what you have to give, how you can support this person at this point in their lives. Because you're the person able to do it here with the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Discs. You're well able, you have the resource. Also, this is, you know, coming through to me as Virgo energy, and Virgo is the healer archetype of the tarot, of astrology. So it's saying you need to offer some healing, loving support to people in your life and stop ignoring the intensity and the pain of what other people are experiencing just because you're not physically having that going on internally with you, and that you're in a good place in your life. Because if you don't, Spirit will have to teach you that level of empathy and compassion by allowing you to experience it yourself. Very interesting. You've got the Devil in reverse here. And you have the Page of Cups alongside it. And what I was seeing with this is that the Page of Cups was literally feeding the devil, feeding the vice. For some of you, this is yourself. You're feeding your own vices, your own shadow, your own, you know, poor behaviors. But I genuinely feel that for the vast majority of you, this is about how you're dealing with people. Now, it doesn't just have to be a love relationship. It could be a family member, a parent that you look after, whatever. But there's somebody in your life that you're feeding their darkness. So they're turned up. In their life, they're showing up as trapped in the shadow, trapped in their inner underworld. They're not able to free themselves from whatever it is that they're facing off with right now. And you're just like, I don't know, like, I'm happy to be in a relationship with you. I'm just glad we're in a relationship. Like, I'm just glad that you're here. I'm just glad that I can still get the things that I need. I'm just glad that, you know, this is still fun for me. That's the kind of energy it is. Sagittarius, what's up? That's so inappropriate. The Spirit in me is not happy with that from you. I pulled clarifiers on the Devil card, and what came out, interestingly, I thought it was 2 cards, but as I picked it up, there was 3. Now, you have the Priestess, right? Have you seen that? No, you had the Empress before. We had the Priestess here, and we have the Queen of Cups. So this is emotional giving. This is intuitive bonding as well. Okay, so this is Cancer as well. This is the most empathetic energy. Cancer can read emotions. Cancer can sense on an emotional level what people are feeling and what they need. Libra is good at this too. It's a gift that Cancer has. And with the Priestess kind of card here, it's saying that kind of intuitive connection to the partner, where even if they can't articulate to you that they're trapped, that you should be able to sense through your bond and connection with them that this is what's happening, even if there's a family member. It's just having that intuitive power to be able to read the energy of others. Like I said, the Death card, the Judgment card, the Tower card, all in your context. You should be able to read the signs, Sagittarius. And instead, what you've got that comes up is the Futility card. You're acting like it's pointless. You're acting like it's pointless to nurture, pointless to try to change anything, pointless to call on your spiritual gifts to help this person. You're acting like it doesn't matter. It matters, Sagittarius. This is a This is a karmic moment for you. This is a time for you to grow up and to heal and to level up. It really is. Spirit is demanding much more from you than you're currently giving. This small cup of I'm happy, I'm content, I have what I need, this dynamic works for me is not good enough. And as your final advice card here, you have the Three of Pentacles. It's a warning card. It says to you, if you continue to be like this in your partnerships, whether it's romantic, friendship, business, family, these partnerships will fall apart. They will crumble because those people that you think are going to return to you when they're out of the devil energy, when they get free, they're just going to be fine to be with you. Instead, they're going to see this. They're going to see, oh, when I was at my lowest, when I was struggling, you barely noticed. You barely, nothing changed for you. Like, how connected can you be to me if when I'm at my worst, you are oblivious? Some of you aren't going to like this, but it is what it is. I am purely the vessel through which Spirit speaks, and I have to give it to you as it comes through to me. And Spirit is honestly saying, enough. Do better. You know, the opposite sign for you is Gemini. Gemini is your opposite sign, and Gemini is amazing. Gemini rules the environment anyway, and not environment as in like Greenpeace. I mean environment as in like the external world, as in what's around you. And Gemini is amazing at synthesizing information and seeing what's going on around, and you need to pull on the opposite energy of your polar opposite sign. You need to develop some Gemini qualities. And remember that Gemini in the tarot card represents the lovers, okay? You know, the card with the couple on it, the marriage, the union energy, that's the Gemini card, and we're in Gemini season. I think this is why this energy's come through so sharply at you, because it's like you're too far at a Sagittarius extreme, and Spirit is asking you to find the middle ground between Sagittarius and Gemini. Sagittarius has to come in, and so does Gemini. We're all moving towards our center and integrating all these different zodiac energies we have within us. And Spirit's saying to you, look, you're not understanding your environment in any way, and you need to, because it's not all about you, Sagittarius. Man, I do love you, Sagittarius. I do, and I feel like it's an act of love to deliver you a real message, you know. I hope you'll share it. Share it with other people that need to see it. Share this message. I was gonna say rewatch it. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you will have the heart to hear all that again, but try to take those messages on board. And you know, soul can lick your wounds if you need to, but make sure that you eventually pull yourself out of that, take action. And if this resonates with you and you know it's a message for your soul's growth, then make sure you're coming back. You know, make sure that next month you come for your next meal, your next installment of healing. Okay? Get busy. Much love. Mwah.